This video is for the nice girl who understands everyone else's reasons for doing her wrong and then blames herself, but then has a hard time getting what she wants. If no one has told you before, let me be the one to tell you. Stop being so understanding. Like, you need to start prioritizing yourself. Now, I know I'm coming off maybe just a tad bit harsh, but I want to make sure my message is getting across. So keep watching and let me tell you why. Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Like Magic with Julia. Today we are talking about a topic that really just came to me out of nowhere from my own personal experience. And it's really about why you need to stop understanding other people and being so considerate to them and really start to prioritize and respect yourself first. You are your main concern. You are your main goal. But first, I'm going to need you to prioritize me for a second and hit that subscribe button just because, you found your home. If you clicked on this video, it's a sign that it's meant to be. Just Like Magic is about, just really attracting like-minded women, like-minded girlies, really anyone who just wants to really improve themselves, work on themselves in order to really just attract and manifest your dream life, okay? We are all about loving ourselves on this channel. We're all about positivity and just getting to the point in life where we desire to be, whatever that looks like for you. I call all of my subscribers my gems just because I think that all of you are the most valuable stones in the whole entire world. So please join the community, become a gem, and you'll be manifesting your dream life just like magic. So the last thing that I want anyone to do after this video is to think that your understanding or empathetic nature is bad, right? So I want to talk about why being understanding and empathetic is a superpower, but sometimes even superpowers can be dangerous when used wrongfully or in excess. So let's talk about how you can use your understanding and empathetic nature to your advantage. Having that quality of being an understanding and empathetic person is a really beautiful thing because you're able to really grasp the emotions or the logic that someone's in. You're able to offer advice, you're able to relate, you're able to put yourself in another person's shoes, which is really powerful. But there's this line that occurs when you begin to excuse them for behaviors because of those emotions that are not yours, because you're able to kind of feel them as if another person was experiencing them. And because you're able to experience them, you're validating that person's behavior because you understand their pain. And that's where things go left. You can understand someone, but you have to have the emotional intelligence and wisdom to know, okay, this person's going through something, so I understand that, but now they need to fix that. They need to experience it. They need to go to therapy to figure out how they're going to heal from that, because that's not my role. And if I'm going to be in any sort of relationship with them, whether it's a friendship, a parent, a partner, a romantic partner, they need to know that this situation is hard, of course, and I can validate that as whatever sort of friend or partner I am to them, but they can't mistreat me because of that. There's this very thin line between understanding and allowing that we all need to master as empaths. It's an amazing thing to have a sense of understanding of what's happening and be in touch with what's going on emotionally and logically, but it needs to be for you. It can't be an excuse for anyone else. You can know what's happening logically, you can know what's happening with someone emotionally, and you can understand the truth in what's happening and why they're doing something to you without allowing it to occur. The only time that someone should be taking on someone else's emotions or thoughts or, being so understanding and empathetic and not respecting anything else in return is when you're a therapist. When you're in any sort of give or take relationship, think about it. You have to give because you're giving in order to receive. And so if that person isn't giving you what you need or giving their part, and you're basically telling them, okay, and you're signaling out that you're okay with not receiving, or that you're okay with just receiving what they're giving, then that's going to set the precedent that that's okay. And they're not going to continue to treat you with respect, or they're not going to continue to provide you with what it is that you need or what you're looking for from them, because you're signaling that you understand why they're not giving it to you and you're accepting that. Whether it's with friends, whether it's with lovers, whether it's with family, you will always give more and get very little or nothing at all in return if you allow them to get away with their bad behavior. And truthfully, using understanding and empathetic nature to excuse that is not okay. And guess what? When you're too understanding at your own expense, aka when you're understanding of someone else's situation and allow them to get away with bad behavior and sacrifice yourself in the process, guess what's gonna happen? You're going to become resentful to that person, because you're going to understand truthfully, deep inside of you, you're sacrificing your needs, you're sacrificing your desires for that person. And because at the expense of something that you need, they are not giving that to you and you're giving them a pass, you're going to begin to resent them. So ladies, there are no more excuses. When someone is wrong, when someone does something wrong, treats you wrong, says something about you that is disrespectful, say how you feel. And guess what? Follow it up with action. You need to love and respect and prioritize your well-being more than you do theirs. In any type of love, each person has to hold their own and then come together. And now I know someone in the comments may tell me, oh, but that's not real love. Sometimes when one person falls short, the other person needs to, pick it up. Yes, that's very true. Everyone needs to be supportive of each other, right? But not at the expense of yourself. You are not going to be able to hold both ends of the relationship up, especially if you create a pattern or a habit out of negative behavior. You trying to do their part will take away energy from you, which will make it fail regardless. Two people have to understand that mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual dedication in any friendship and any romance and any long-standing relationship is needed. And it shouldn't come at the expense of anyone else's feelings or emotions. You need to prioritize yourself. That's all. So no more being understanding to a flaw where you're sacrificing your own needs, your own emotions, and your own feelings for other people. I need to drill it through your head so you never need to be told again. I was once this girl who was so considerate, so understanding of everyone else. And what happened was I would rationalize in my head why someone was treating me poorly and become so understanding of the reasoning that I would try to then fix that person, show that person that I was capable of understanding in order to prove to them and to myself my worth of being that understanding person, right? And ultimately what I was trying to do was to save that person, but to prove my worth and have them validate me through that experience. And that's just not it. That's not the way. That's not true, real, genuine love and genuine connection. That right there is how toxic situationships, toxic relationships are formed, because not only is that person probably not treating you right to begin with and not respecting you as you deserve to be, but you are also feeding into the negative treatment that they are giving you. And instead of repelling it, you're kind of going towards it. The reason why that happens is because of self-worth. And if you want to know more about self-worth, if you want to kind of talk about your self-esteem, the love that you have for yourself, and just why self-worth is so important, I have linked a few other videos that I've done already in the description below so that you can check them out and really understand the root of the issue. But a huge main part of the problem is that you're prioritizing that person over yourself. You're basically saying to yourself, oh, but this person, has this sad thing that happened to them, or has this, story, and I can maybe relate to it, or I can empathize with it. Imagine that. Imagine how much pain they're in. You empathize so much with that person because you want to prove to that person that you're so understanding. You're putting their needs before your own. And then what's happening is, indirectly or directly, whether you know it or not, consciously or unconsciously, you are sacrificing yourself for that person. I, being an understanding person, is something that's a blessing and a curse. But with every great power comes great responsibility, like Spider-Man says. So you need to be careful that you're not using your superpower to help everyone else, but to then mess yourself over. Sometimes, depending on who you are, depending on how you were raised, you can really tap into this self-deprecating pattern of trying to understand a situation that hurts you to then understand why that person did that specific behavior that hurt you, to not only make it hurt less, but to make sense of the hurt. Sometimes what happens is, as women, we tend to understand too much. And when we understand too much, it's this feminine energy, it's this almost like maternal nature that we tap into to then excuse or give a pass to that behavior that hurt us, because we want to show that we not only care for that person, but that we understand why they did it. So even though we're the ones who are done wrong, we then try to overcompensate by proving that our love is greater, and then somewhere in between, we're signaling to that person that we're accepting that behavior. So in return, you give the other person grace instead of holding them accountable for their actions. As someone who has thought the right person will see that I'm so, considerate or so empathetic and so understanding and so loving that like da 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 da. No, that is not how respectable women act. That is not how women who respect themselves act. This is something that I feel like as women, we tend to fall into this trap of trying to be nice, right? Like if you think about the way that we're raised, we're always told to be nice. But what happens when nice comes at the expense of our self-respect? If you ever have to choose between being nice or respecting yourself, right then and there, you have to choose you, because you should not ever be in a situation where you have to pick between the two. And here's the hard truth. Everyone has a story. Everyone has pain. Everyone has a sad, sad, sad narrative, right? I can think of about 20 sad things that if I wanted to, I could use as really big excuses to treat people like poop, to really just latch on to those narratives, that pain, the things that have really hurt me in life, and act out as a result of that pain. In life, you're always going to be challenged. You're always going to be going through something at some point in your life, right? We are literally guaranteed that throughout this journey of what we call life, there's pain. We all know that we're guaranteed some sort of pain at some sort of time in our lives. But if we're going to walk around treating people like quite literal garbage because of that pain, and then expect them to accept that and not hold us accountable for our actions, we're living in delusion. And so if you think that you can't do that for you, why are you letting someone else get away with it? Who quite literally would not stick around if you were doing that to them. They wouldn't bat an eye. And if they would, that's some toxic shit. It is a hard life, and I really understand that. As ironic as it sounds, I say that with a lot of empathy and understanding. I get it. It's hard out here. Like, we all are going through something. But guess what? If you want respect, if you want a mutual relationship that's reciprocative of communication and respect and admiration and love, you have to hold people accountable. You have to speak up for yourself. You can understand in a healthy way and still hold people accountable. You can understand and still speak up. You matter more. I need to talk to you about why it's important to always prioritize yourself. When you understand too much, people get a pass. You don't hold them accountable, therefore they get away with it. And the thing is, human nature is based off of patterns. We're always trying to test what we can get away with. That's just how it is naturally. Now, if you've been a gem for a while, you know that I've done videos in the past on energy and manifestation and like basically how as humans we attract everything, whether we know it or not. So for example, with me, because I'm being understanding, not because I actually feel like what they did was just, but because I'm prioritizing that person over myself, I'm spewing out toxicity. So I'm going to be matched with toxicity. They are not going to have consideration for me. They're not going to recognize that I'm giving them grace. And the lack of disrespect is going to continue to grow. People in this life will give you what you accept. It is very rare in this life that people will try to give you more than what you show them you are worth, which is why you have to have your best interest at heart all the time. You should not be giving any passes. If something bothers you, speak up. If someone disrespects you, make sure they know that they cannot disrespect you. And I'm not saying be aggressive, be assertive, engage in like all this crazy confrontation. If there are people that you love in your life, like friends or family, that you know, that you feel like disrespects you, you can have a conversation with them and really try to work it out and voice how you feel. But at some point, if you're dealing with people who are used to engaging with you in a pattern of disrespect, yeah, you may have to be assertive. You may have to confront them. You may have to even cut them off because no one in this lifetime is worth giving more to than yourself. And there is no excuse. There's no reason. I know so many people who have tried to use what they've been through in life as excuses for certain behaviors that just don't quite add up. And what's so funny is I've seen people treat me poorly as a result of those actions, but treat people who treat them with less grace, with less kindness, better. Trust me when I tell you, they will go on and live life while you sit around being stuck, waiting to get the treatment from them that you truly do deserve, but that because you've set the tone, the precedent to kind of let them do whatever they want, to let them treat you however they want, they will not be able to match. As females, when we use our empathetic and understanding nature to spare other people from our thoughts and our feelings, we are putting them over ourselves. Stop it. I don't care what the case is. I don't care if his mom just passed away. I don't care if your best friend's boyfriend just broke up with her. I don't care. You're not going to treat me wrong. Now, look, I'll be rational, right? People do make mistakes. People do tend to have fights with one another. People get into arguments sometimes. That's life and that's any relationship, right? But like I said, this is based on pattern, right? And when those fights happen, you can forgive, but you have to speak up. I'm not saying get into the habit of just cutting everyone off into your life, but I'm saying you need to take yourself seriously. You need to understand that your respect for yourself, your self-respect needs to be the number one priority in every relationship that you have. The one with your parents, the one with your siblings, the one with your partner, the one with your friends. Because guess what? People will walk on you and take what they can get from you every single time if you show them that they can treat you however they want. And it's never too late. You know, like I understand if you feel like you've had friends and they've just gotten into the habit of, you know, treating you like this because you've always let them. But guess what? Like you can change your mind. You can implement new habits. It's never too late to stick up for yourself. It's never too late to glow up and to elevate how you see yourself. And if they're truly your friends, yeah, it might be an adjustment period for them, but guess what? They're going to value that and respect it and get on board. And you know what? There may be some relationships in your life that I hate to say this is the hard truth, but you may have to prepare to cut off. And I know that sometimes we fear doing that, we fear loss, but guess what? Like, if those people are worthy of a cutoff because they're disrespecting you and not actually valuing the fact that you are now willing to stand up for yourself, those people, not it for you. They're not it for you. You need to toss them out that window real quick. Like you just caught your ex cheating and you're tossing all his clothes and Jordans and all sneakers out that window. They gotta go. They should have been gone. Because why? Why would you want them in your life? Trust me when I tell you, every time you lose someone, when you cut them off, when you know that they're not good for you anymore, if they leave your life, open that door wide open. Hold it wide open. Let them leave. Let them run. Sage while they run out of your life and welcome in the newness. Because when I tell you, every time someone has left my life, every time I've had to cut someone out of my life, God has given me so many more friends. So, like, just so many good people overall who have been in alignment with that version of me that has elevated. And He will give you new, amazing blessings and people too if you have to get rid of some old ones that are not on board with where you very well deserve to be. Think about it like this. You mean to tell me that if you excuse someone's behavior, if you're understanding, if you're nice, they're not gonna do it again? They're not gonna, girl, what? You have to love yourself first, because the way that you get anything and everything in this world is by what you believe about yourself. Guess what I believe about you? I believe that you are so valuable that there is nothing that you are not deserving of in this world. Whatever your dreams are, whatever your aspirations are, you can do it. You have it in you. And if everything is not worked out right now, it's okay, because with time, you're going to figure it out. You are worth so much more than you know. I need you to take this next step and to realize that anyone and everyone, including myself, can see all of the goodness in you, but it means nothing if you don't see it within yourself, because you're going to be the one to take you to that next level. You're going to be the one who makes your dreams come true. No one is coming to save you. You're going to save yourself. You're going to be the one to take you to that next level. And so you need to understand that if you're going to be the one on your journey this whole time, you're the only one who can love you like no one else can love you. You're the only one who can respect yourself like no one else can respect you. And guess what? When you start doing that, everyone else has no choice but to fall in line. Because when you truly love yourself, when you truly respect yourself, that is truly enough. And everyone else's respect and everyone else's love is complementary. You don't need anyone's validation, respect, or love to validate who you are as a person and to validate your worth. Because when you love and respect yourself already, you already know it. Hold people accountable and take up space. This was such an issue of mine in the past. I never wanted to take up space. I always felt like someone was going through something, and if I voiced how they upset me or how I was truly feeling about something, I was going to be adding to their list of problems, especially because I'm usually the person that people come to talk about their problems. I'm a Virgo sun, Cancer moon, okay? Like, that's literally what I was destined for. And that's fine, but I feel like, guess what? I had to learn I'm a person too. And just like you, I have feelings, I have needs, I have boundaries. And if I don't speak up, if I don't take up space, that person is going to think that their behavior is truly okay. And if they do it to someone else, that person may not be as nice, but they're going to speak up and they're going to get the treatment that they deserve. So I need to do that too. Stop being so scared of conflict or not being validated. If someone doesn't like you, or if someone walks out of your life because you voiced what you need and what you feel, what does that say about them? Chances are, if they really do walk out of your life, friendship, the relationship, whatever, is one-sided, and you don't want to be in something like that. Taking up space and voicing how you feel and talking to people about your boundaries and what truly makes you feel a type of way doesn't mean you need to be emotionally unhinged or irrational or have a crash out, right? You can talk to people and voice how you feel after you've had some time to really process what you want, what you need, what boundaries and limits are being, crossed. Sometimes we have to take some time for ourselves to really understand how we're feeling, how we're being tested maybe, to then really take some time, process the emotion, and think about how we're going to present it to that person. I feel like that's why sometimes people fear confrontation, because they don't realize that it doesn't have to be an argument, or it doesn't have to just come out all in one shot unplanned. Like, you can plan how you present yourself to someone else. When you plan that way, you can't plan for that person's reaction. You can't control what happens in that moment, but you can definitely control your part. Not everything is this huge conflict or confrontation, right? Like, you voicing how you feel about something and prioritizing yourself and your needs does not need to be a confrontation. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. Please let me know what more content you want to see. Let me know if you have anything you want me to talk about in these videos. I look forward to seeing you all soon. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.